na SMS Amayia iri nkumanyibuna nara yaya na kwariganire asenchera ire yobwikiranu asensemo ya Facebook kendra gotonyora gwetera Ndizi TV News Digital asensemo ya YouTube Ndizi TV News mutandao Twitter @Ndizi TV News boigona bugusanga kerengerero kyawe trase namba ira se screen iri toendere gusanga na baigo kwemanyia amanke iri tariane Everlyne Osero tukubwatirana nere Joshua Auta kwendekya wiki ira sensemo imanyerero kabana intwe komoyo Kwariganito ya chake asenchera ere yobwikiranu awase abanyakenyoro babotoriye gutokase ward ya Kitutu Central ibunge ya Nyaribari chache ibunge ya Kitutu chache South county ya Kisii alitwara rero baba kubwatwa no moichano chingaki omubere gusomusacho ya matoka nyumba mwaye gasiretie obugima korengana na ya mate ya monyora nigo batabuna nigo amanyingare ngasero asaraire nabo igo egetamba asebigotibyaye yentokero kende bakagera buna nigo angentire na kubeku ase ayo negekore bagikeria bororo na kuburia serikali kweneke buna oburendi bwisaine ngotingi ubure ase Chinsa mecho ekerobo igo bagani obotukibwa bene bobebo gokorwa mu biro nyagusira no rusi wasayo n'abanyanyimbo begetaseni kyanyanchwa asoirwa wikesengendu ya KTRH chingaki obotuki burachaki orbotyo rwasenchera iyo bwikirano Ekenyoro ne kiabotori ward ya Kisii Central ebunge ya Kitutu chache South county ya Kisii asomo ichano na mayanda manene abwata abanyakenyoro eyemagega yo mugaka bwe myaka 50 na kianda asereta Cyprian Machoni obora anyorekana gasireti obogima nyumba mwaye gari negetamba asebigoti byaye
twacha tuikagaiga twajukoriye twanyondeta yisiko gaiga kurwabu twanye nyumba bikure chabi twabwaita usema gono mataka karuse magondo kuratara kurarigie ekwenderende kuranya kurabira birende mochi na konya kurabira bimochire na konya kumurige twanyotayo nakira my sister simna madena tindochi my sister ndena igora nyumba nyakere gwasi igora nyumba tanya wakara kitanya kutika nyumba gwasi aya twasa konya kuri onde juntu kanangero digi mori yango borongo na kumori borongo na nyora tokoraki ara ire sa turungan tensa sekero twanyora ni gabe kirwe getamba angentire getamba ebikoti
kurengana na Osero nyabyosi oyore mu muro mwabonya gusira babere bakumirana asama tukamanke
majuni twaranere umuri litkuri umuzi cyuma Aramisi kara ruto mwane ya ruto yasinera lingo korali lakini renda karangirwa ko kinyancho karagenda nyancho aratebankura nara chaho korachako kokoro tutegasi tachikwirana
nigo bayigaine kyabuna nyagusira tabwate muchando buroire bonde bwensi anainde nere bye komenyete asama tukamange asakwerera buna banyororo boti igoro yogo kwa mu muro mwabo uyo nonya nabo obwateri misu
abono mambirendi Naimuka na lulu kawaida twagende kanisa wapuki tuwira na Chinsa Isato
kende Osero yo na ruwatu na paturoire bwo
ya tabwati bono akarena ija angwali kubeka Chinsa yana ryo mumina ntebye nyorera bali ngaho inchugocha matuniga gazirete igo bono tumatinga inki one karena chapa kai sale na bona nyorebe amaene nyumba ari garaire apungire bigoti etamba tura manyinga na balensi akurwiri lakini uchakire ukoroje uchakire ku nisio botioko
inarabye
komenyete nyumba
nengana ya ichani abanke asalerwa ko bomugaka bweruwete korigeria amate yaye anene wetera obobundi wechibao asakure na gotiga abana bare chiskuru
amangana ya twabondokire ekero umugaka gukwa gotiga abana bare skuru nere konyukuri no enkendega kuna konyako hende kabenta onyora chibesa orwe school fees no mongina nere nkorigiara sari kiro meiti ga kinya sae ga kyonyora chibesa osomia abana buna bono utigira abana bari university babere noyo mure college
nigo koboria kwa rwewo gocha serikali gokoro botukyo boikiranu komanye kikeirire togosira kwa Machoni na monoborendi boisaine gotingi gwa Chinsa mecho
bona rende nari kumanyanga ari kuburia serikali na serikali ga kitale gotokonya efuatiye gara tumanyenga umaene bwa ingo kinga kiate tu na ndingi kiagera tali kuitu
ono gaki otokumeti amangana yako basekenyoreke mangana arabeire gotokonya igwa yande garare lakini bono rero aikire Gusii na mangana yekera koba ntuma itinga ninkekebe otwari kogania bali mumanyite nande serikali yaite bwata ukoboko kuya egere tumurikire tokonye kiare binte ebia kere bikonya bakorekana gaki serikali mutu tiga kiara nturu kukomenya igabono no ni tuwa tukukorwara tuku ekiare birengeri ebio bigotoita keto konyora abantu ba minto bagoitwa injereye bono twasoire gutwara obwoba nduru kunyara komenya no morembe obwoba tomenyerete
Omubero nyagosira norusi wanabanyanyimbo begetaseni kia nyanchwa na koirwa sengendu ya KTRH chinga kia banyakenyoro batigara batabwatiri chibu ekyo kyairete ogokwa kwa nyagosira ngoripoteri yegetaseni kia Ndizi TV erietariane Everlyne Osero Mwancho murigereri bono omubiro yoni goirwa sengendu ya Kisii Teaching and Referral Amayia County ya Kisii togotikana nayo nigo abamenyi bensemo ya Nyamarambe yotoka sebunge ya South Mugrango County ya Kisii litkolya rero beso kenda okorokorobekana kwa murembe asekeria baganeti nyagetari ya Nduru level 4 ebege kuigurwa nyagetari yabireke Gusii kwa asegeka kopwatikana no kungsana no kwa betoko enekiwa chinga kie mashini ya renge kurusi wasayo na koirwa se Chinsa mochi yake umbu Nabono nigaba menya ubaganirie ose omochumbe wensemi Silvana Osero kubatrana no mugavana we county ya Kisii Paul Simbarati kweneke abunango gaya nabare enganeyo eriyo o inyagetari eyo abege koigorwa banyore obokoreri bwo bwene umurike ito Mildred Momanyi norbote urwaso bwime
Okorobekana kwa morembe nigo gwakorekana sensemo ya Nyamarambe yeremeye bunge ya South Mugrango county ya Kisii hasa bamenyi benseme yo bakorera okoiguru kwenya gitari ya Nduru level 4 hase bono yabeireke Gusii kwa asegeka niye maiga yo kunganyigwa kwe machine kurwa asenya gitari yo gocha senya gitari ya keumbu asabamenyi abo barenge no bororo igoro yengane yo nigo bono barwa ebirengereri byabo igoro yenya gitari yo
etuacha gukora maandamano are peaceful na intu maandamano itotabuga tisegi etuacha gusaba togosaba county yetu ya Kisii omugabana ito Simbarati akore egaseria ya management aire abuate make sure igoire nyagitari yega goikira mambia erinde abarwaire barwarigwe intu
enyagitari yega ige machine yarengega egokonya bangina kuibura bagacha koyeso kiegende abana inchi bakarwa bakayetanga simba kamana gwansa kote babana abanyagitari barwaningwe abanyagitari baito no abande bamenyetema abande iskogali ondetanya ko barwani igo rero twachaga igabana abagirango kworokyo obororo bwaito
Boigoni go bamugania omugavana bwe county ya Kisii Simba Arati gucha kurigereria engane yaiga asoboime na koigora enyagitari yo asebono abamenyi batebire nigego konya abantu bange abo bono batigarite no gochana asebarachi nyagitari
twango sabaiga omugavana ito Simba Arati abantu bagochorete tari chisese na andira abantu okoregasi abantu abagukukurunya itali yasiekwa koranche kwa nkorengereri oigore nyaitari yetu na anda abantu bandi bakwana nga siasa bado egento tutaite ntwatokana magendero chinga kichigo ikachia siasa oche isikoga otebya abantu egasikwa bakoreire
tokote yo mugabano oyo chore tuna abantu bonsi babugirango na andi bakamwachikura chinyingi aigore nyagitari ye nalyo morembo ranche
kila lituko abarwire bagochaga iganya gitari banyore gitege cyekire bairana abande barali maututi twale gote Simba Aratiga twakoire mambi goika mambi enyagitari yaitego dunyetari boigo utaona bile abagirango barabievu
ase chinga kiecho nigo bono bateba tibali gochegwa kana ebango bakenya gitari yegoirwe ase boigo bamugania omubunge bwensemeyo Silvana Osero gocha kugayana engane yeiga asoboime elio banyore obokonyi bwa bwangu
munabono rero usurute yango na chubogirange ngima bakonye igoire karaya nyigore arontarengereri koigora mangana ya kore na mapati mpaka wakati ataifungua na aleta madaktari. Tuliona jana katika mtandao ya kwamba wameandika ya kwamba daktari warudi, lakini bahati mbaya wakaandika barua ya kwamba daktari ambaye ameajiriwa mmoja tu asirudi kwa sababu hajalipwa mshahara for the last 1 year. Sasa hiyo ni nini wamefungwa? Hiyo ni madharau.
Jumbe yenda kutia somo jumbo ito Silvanus Osero. Mheshimiwa Osero tafadhali to basako soyo buwa bagekara abantu babugira ngo mba minute na noro. Tutaete tubwateri irube yaga igatuakoreteire tutaete ko kwabero Mheshimiwa Osero. Arua negente ke kurubunge. Amandamana yankonyagenda tore mpaka ofisi yo Mheshimiwa Osero tomotebi achake eseyeyega kurubunge. Baliga nino Mheshimiwa Simbarati wa make sure enyagitari yetu yabugira ngo yayigo irikaribo.
Kuripotelia egetaseni kia Ndizi TV, litaliane Mildred Momanyi.
Mbia mwana murikaito Mildred Momanyi ase oroboti ururu ikiranu imiroberio yoko mwenia Mukami Kimathi hoyoro murugia bu munyangongo Dedan Kimathi abarwanire to bosibole bwense ya Kenya nigegendrete awase omokonyi bomurai bwense Rigathi Gachagua aberega kwene kiabuna nigo bachorire chikamati asensemo ye serikali nene nabo serikali chi county abo barabwatirane kwene kiabuna imiroberio yonsi yabere kewikirana ase enchire bwenerete aniga yakwana chinga kibaikirana musangirikano bwa masabo yokomwenia Mukami asigashagwa abakakora gagoteba buna barayibonsi mbariganirie asomuyogoyo brenchire moyo kubwatirana iri kwene kiabuna Mukami ngweni wara senchera irendonge.
Na tumeweka mipango, tuko na kamati mbili. Kamati ya county hapa inaongozwa na gavana na county commissioner pamoja na familia kupanga maneno ya hapa, na tuko na kamati ingine national ambayo inaongozwa na katibu wa interior Bwana Omolo na maafisa wengine wa vitengo ya juu katika serikali ya William Ruto kuhakikisha ya kwamba mipango imefanyika na ile njia inatakikana. Historia ya Mau inajulikana. Hao watu wetu wa Mau waliingia msituni wa Aberdare na Mount Kenya kupigana na Muingereza ambaye alikuwa amechukua mashamba na kunyang'anya sisi uhuru wetu. Na hata kama tulipata uhuru, mambo ya mashamba ilienda kombo. Na hii debate tutaianza kuongea juu yake, kwa sababu hii kifo cha mama ni chanzo mzuri ya sisi kuanza hiyo mjadala. Tuulizane, mashamba ilikuwa imetengwa ya Mau ilienda wapi? Ilichukuliwa na nani na kwa nini? Na ni haki gani wale walichukua wachukue na wale ambaye walipigana wakose? Kwa hivyo hii ni mambo tutakuwa tukijadiliana tukienda mbele. Tumetaka kualika viongozi wote wale walipigania uhuru, wale walikuwa wanashikana na mzungu kunyanyasa Mau, wakipata nafasi wakuje.
Nekero yarokanire buna abasabanke nigo bakwebwatania sobusari bw'ekingenjo kubwatikana no kuborwa ekibagokora nigo mokonyi bw'omurugi bw'omurayi wense Pastor Dorcas Gachagua aborire abakenya kwene kiabuna ngo konya bare abasaye na banane ne bali bare ase gose bagwetana na ase chitawuni batabwati obumenyo erioko bakonya wetanga kurwa sobusari bw'ekingenjo buna obutumeki bwa mariogo yogotinda bukebago nabo igo amarito amapema na nigo yaniga yakwana chinga kikira musangirikano bwa masabo ase kanisa ya Moime mucho Nairobi asate na abana baigamba bwente gukonywa eriyo korosiwa egesaku kiamambia.
Those boys you see there, if you want the security of this nation, get them out of streets. If you want the gender-based violence to stop, get those boys out of the streets. If you want teenage pregnancies to stop, get those boys out of the streets. Validate their dreams. Give them hope. Lead them to Christ. And that is the future church. Those are the future missionaries that are out there, lost and living in oblivion, rejected, without anybody to touch them. And when we pass by, you see them. And because we have become the living dead, we don't feel anything. You see them, you actually make your widow go up. They are our children. They are children of God. God is asking us to go out in those streets. Get those who are staggering under the influence of alcohol back.
Waziri wa mang'ana yoborerania ICT Ludo Walo nigagenderete kubanekeria abamenyi borogongo rwa Nyanza mune serikali ya Kenya Kwanza nibwatemero biremia yo gwikirania amagendero gukwana chinga kyecho nigo waro abagakugania abamenyi kurwa sorogongo rwa Nyanza ko babatayero nanene kurwa chinga kinyororo ase serikali yo gwikirania emirimo ya gusemerimo ya emirobero au ya magendero nigo boigo atebabuna ati bari go chiwanja siasa chitabwati kirengeki ya asomo Kenya gukorekana asekeria tebabuna nigo siasa icho chikwira na magega amagendero nabono nigo atebire buna serikali nebegetemero biresaine yoko enekia buna abamenyi ba Nyanza banyorire amagendero y'ingenjo au gati yabo estima okorosi wa wechpara amache egatia yandamanki.
What we are going to do as Kenya Kwanza government under the stewardship of His Excellency President William Ruto is to ensure that the challenges facing the common mwananchi are addressed. We want to do water. We want to do electricity, last mile connectivity. We want to do roads, first of all finalizing or completing all those roads which had stalled. We want to ensure that we optimally exploit the fishing industry. We want to ensure that there is sustainable food security, electricity. These floods, we are going to put dikes so that we can stop the floods from ravaging our farmlands. The floods can also be stored in dams so that during drought in January and February, it is now used for purposes of irrigation agriculture. So that is the agenda that we have as Kenya Kwanza government. If we are to do any politics between now and 2027, it will be politics of the economy, politics of addressing the challenges facing the common mwananchi, not politics built around personal interests or leaders. We have got a responsive agenda that addresses the challenges facing the common mwananchi, and based on the economic blueprint that we developed for this region of Nyanza and the charters which were signed by the Kenya Kwanza team, courtesy of His Excellency the President, that is the agenda that we are going to implement in this region.
Magega yekiombe getenere tobo chenu asensenkima World Health Organization hu ni gobono umuwaziri wobo chenu mense ya Kenya Susan Nakumincha aberega kugania abantu kugendera kuri ndobo chenu bwemebere yabo anene asokunara chimbwa chire chingi ya chobo chenu aya nigo ya kwanaya chinga kekira naso musangirikano bw'amasabo ase kanisa ya AIC St Stephen's Shikendu ikitale parish ase atebiro nababekire mirobere saine yoko eneke abuna amachika kabwenera tengo bwati wale anene ase chipara eriyo gokonya abantu wetanga kurwaso kwambokerwa namaroire ye chingencho au.
WHO declared on Friday that it's not an emergency. COVID is no longer a pandemic, not an emergency. My technical team had already advised me and we had reviewed the status, and on 4th I actually issued an advisory to my colleague, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and my colleague, the Minister for Transport, so that they are able to lift some of the issues that we had put there. One is, like, for example, any passenger arriving, we had it was necessary that they give us a certificate of either vaccination, and if they have no certificate of vaccination, then a COVID certificate test showing that they have zero COVID, they don't have COVID. So that is no longer there. From January, our averages were about 2.5% of COVID from the ones that we analyzed and tested. 2.5% were positive. But up to the last week of April, our tests, then it was 0.5% of all the samples that we tested. Only 0.5% had COVID. What that means is then that it gives us an opportunity to lift the measures that we had put in place in terms of restrictions. So now passengers can travel freely. Even the general population, now they can mingle and do anything else freely. We no longer have to wear masks. We don't have to use sanitizers all the time. We don't have to wash hands. We don't have to keep social distance the way we are doing. But that doesn't mean that we should not take personal safety and hygiene, sanitation seriously. So at a personal level, because what happened during COVID, because of these measures, many diseases went down. like upper respiratory diseases in children went down, diarrheal diseases went down. It's because the general population was now practicing hygiene and sanitation. So as much as COVID is now no longer a pandemic nor an emergency with us, I want to encourage Kenyans to still do public personal hygiene and sanitation. If you need to wash hands, please wash hands. After visiting the toilets, wash hands. Because we have other diseases like cholera that could be spread if they don't practice personal hygiene.
Omerio yanigo omurobere wa masabo ogendereri wa ase kanisa ya New Life Mavueni meye county ya Kilifi gukora wana pastor Ezekiel Odero magega yoko bwatwa korwase kigambero wase konyora atangiwe nigo bono omurobere yo yagendera buya ase nonya nabo abanyanyimbo gose abo bisabo burendi baba bakora atine nimerobere yo ase egeka nonya nabo nigo abawakili ba pastor Ezekiel bakora wana dance tanomari bakogikiria egekorekyo nanne goteba buna mu bisonde tayo obwato bosibore goso bwato chinguru cyo gosieka egesasimero asbata ne yuma mincha nerichiko bono nigo bataire nati bago chiwanja engana bune yo kogendera ase abakenya bonse babwente kwego bosibore ubwo sasima.
Today is a congregation day where the worshippers are supposed to be in church. We came here very early and found the door to the temple of the Lord has been barricaded by police officers. We have demanded for them to give us a written notice to close the church. They don't have any written notice, either from the area sub-chief, either from the area chief, either from the OCS, either from the OSPD, or county commissioner, or the inspector general, or the minister for interior, or any court of law in this country. The procedure to communicate closure is by a document legal with a stamp of the coat of arms of the Republic of Kenya. They don't have. We have told them under Article 32 of the Constitution, the government has no role at all to stop any religious function. True. They have no role under Article 32.
Ababwatani korwase kyama kya United Democratic Alliance UDA korwase orogongo rwa Nyanza nigo bagenderete n'umurobere w'okubarikia ababwatani abaya ase kyamekyo abaraya buhanene korwase county ya Migori egatie Chinsemo chinde nigo bataona nigo barengete korikia ababwatani abaya wetani chiribu chimibere na 50 asegeka kyo mutinyoyo mo urebusyo nigo bamenda bataona babere bago chandika asegeke getambe nabono nigo bakiramo asoko bwaterana kwena kebunango cyawale gosira omurayi gwense Dr. William Samuel Ruto na mwana okobori abantu wesoke asobonge na kwerikia ase kyamekyo ero koreta obwambate burubu yabwa magendro imbiyense ya Kenya.
Our target is to register nearly 250,000 people in the next 1 month. So this is going to be big, it's going to be serious, and this is just but the beginning. We are here with all the leadership from Migori. Some are sitting here and there, but all of us are on this together. We want to encourage our people because it is only members of our community, the Luo community, who have suffered a great deal in trying to achieve pluralism. We want to actualize that pluralism in Luo Nyanza and particularly in Migori.
So we are encouraging what is called healthy competition, healthy political competition, whereby we don't expect people to be stoned, people to be abused. No, we want to be so different. Ours will not be abusive, it will not be forceful, but it will be very free, very peaceful, and very friendly. That is what we are up to here, and that is what UDA stands for, together with all the other parties that are under Kenya Kwanza flag.
We have gone through hell and we cannot play around with our lives. Our people must get food. Our children must go to school. Therefore, we cannot waste time any longer. Let us team up. Let us forget the past. Let us work closely so that we deliver this city as a Moiruto in UDA.
We are talking about from the ward level to the locations, to the sub-counties. So UDA is all over as we are speaking.
But let us not play around with UDA. Let us get into a party that has muscles to pull with.
Ebyombe ao ebitenirete abakora emirimo be serikali nigo bagenderete kugikira bororo okoro gose gospaenda kugikira bororo egetamkiro ya serikali iyo komenta ebango nigo batere buna okomento kwibange yuno gochikobeka abakora emirimo be serikali asa kongu ase okubamentera umusigo ana nigo bakwanirigo rechbese chikona chwa ase NHIF NSSF nabo igo obo agachi wechinyomba serigorense na otabuna eyo nigere maminchane chiko yento batere na tibali goche wancha gosonya tariboni go bawo chigokora okorobekana we kumurunganeria engane yo gwika yarigereriwe bwikirano.
The public service sector trade unions, attention has been drawn to the proposed finance bill 2023 and the continued raiding of public servants' payslips by government. The tax authorities continue to overburden the workers in the public sector whose salaries are deducted at source while doing very little to net those employed in the private sector. This overtaxation is going on unabated despite the fact that an employee's salary is protected by law and that any deduction thereto can only be done by mutual consent or through negotiation by the workers' representatives. A typical pay slip of a public worker will have inter alia the following statutory deductions: NSSF, NHIF, payee, housing fund levy. These are just a few among the many statutory deductions that these workers are being subjected to. The housing fund levy, which was purported to be voluntary, is now mandatory.
Omugavana we county ya Kakamega Finlandis Barasa ni gabainekeri abamenyi be county eyo buna engana yoberendi neche kwe wali bagari tanganike gima eriyo kwenekeria abananchi oberendi boisaine gukwana asumuyega boko mwenya uyore nkomo MCA wodi ya Kisa East Stephen Maloba ani go Finlandis abaga kugania serikali wetrase wizara yekigancha kubwatuka chibesa asech county eriyo kobakonya gwikirania emeroberio au ya magendero.
The issue of security, we are going to give it priority. Tumetakuwa na kikao kule Council of Governors. Najua Mheshimiwa Orengo pia wanasaidia sana kule kwa upande wa sheria and security. That is going to be our agenda number one, to ensure that all our MCAs in the country work on armed security. Sisi kama governors wote 47 tukiongozwa of course na chair wetu na mimi kama mwenyekiti wa kamati ya fedha nimesema tumepatia serikali kuu mpaka tarehe 15 wametoa ratiba ya kuleta pesa mashinani. The county governments, all of them 47 in number, are owed 65 billion Kenya shillings ambayo ni pesa ya mwezi wa 3, mwezi wa 4 na pia hivi sasa tuko na mwezi wa 5. The CS National Treasury baada ya kupata ile notice from the Council of Governors of shutting down counties next week, he has given a schedule of disbursing the money for the month of March, mwezi huu ambaye itakuwa tarehe 15. Na sisi tumesema if we don't get money for the month of March, disbursed on the 15th of May, we are going to go back and shut down counties. ati shati kidogo kaunti inamaanisha hakuna huduma yoyote ambayo itatolewa na kaunti zote.
Wikirega bano mancho murigeri nango korera Amayia Chinsa Isato asenjera ere yobwikiranu ekaratora chabuna mwaziri w'uburendi wa Mekidore Kindiki nigagenderete kuburia abanasiasa gutiga weswana ni namangana ya shakahola awase gotebekana buna emibere y'abantu ebe yabireke gutindo kwa asayo abo baye kwibwatani no umurandi Paul Mackenzie nigo Kindiki atebire buna eyo ninchira yemo yo korwa chinga chingongu ucyase abanyanyimbo bakore mirimo ase ayo nyarabuna umurobero buku batindo ko gose botindo kore mibire y'abantu ni gorachi ko gendererwa na inde ritko rya Jumanne kono mancho murigere mbya mana sogo chora ko banainche mbya mana sogo chora ko bwati mirobero yonsi ya Ndizi TV na bwo obwansu bwo Gusii asesemeri ya Facebook na bako endera gotonyara wetera Ndizi TV News Digital asensemo ya YouTube Ndizi TV News asumutandao Twitter na bako twitwetera @Ndizi TV News baigasa kirengerero kyao na bako sangana twitwetera se number era se screen yao gabo iri tari Everlyne Osero twawatrana nere Joshua Auta kwenekea wikira sensemo imenyeriro nere Abigail Nyanchama uyonekea buna chibicha neriogi cya wikire asenchira yabene twaruburigere burobya asemirubirionsi nabo igobo tukuburo botohereru.